Hey guys, Sean here, coming at you today with a new quest, and this one today is going to be A Tale of Two Cats. To start this quest you are going to want to head to Unferth in Berthorpe, which is just east of the Berthorpe Games room. To start this quest you're going to need to have completed the Echlorion's Little Helper quest as well as the Gertrude's Cat quest, and obtained a kitten from Gertrude. Which you will require from this quest. Also, to do this quest you're going to need a cat, surprisingly. You're also going to need the Amulet of Cat Speak from Echlorion's Little Helper, a chocolate cake, 5 death runes, a tinderbox, a vial of water, some logs, a bucket of milk, which I actually haven't got yet, I'll get that off screen, sorry, some shears, a rake, a seed dibber, 4 potato seeds, some white robes. You can use, there are many variations of white robes you can use, but desert ones are generally the best because you're going to need desert robes later on anyway. Well, not need, but they're useful. And if you've got a kitten you'll also want some raw fish. So let's speak to Unferth. Hello, I see that you have a cat. Oh, actually I should probably put this cat speak amulet on. Sorry. So, he will have lost his cat Bob, and not ask, sorry, but you tell him that you can help him, and yeah. So, what you need to do is, you need to go find Bob, wherever he may have gone to, and so you need to go speak to Hild, who is just over there in that house. So head over there. Oh, I'm not running. Let me fix that. And here she is in the black. And tell her that you're trying to find the cat Bob. And yeah. So what she will do is she will enchant your cat speak amulet for the 5 death runes. At which point you'll now have Cat Speak Amulet E, which you can use, and this little interface will pop up. Now what you need to do with this is you need to basically find where Bob is. So to do this you can turn this either anti-clockwise or clockwise, and when this happens, when it's open like that, that direction, that way, is the way you want to go to find Bob. That's where he is. Now, Bob can go into a variety of places. He can run pretty much all over RuneScape, so it can be a bit of a wild goose chase, or a cat chase. Nice wordplay there. But the most common places he's found are usually Falador, Catherby, Death Plateau and Berthorpe, usually. So that's where he can be found. He's also found quite often on White Wolf Mountain as well. So those generally are the places to check. So what you could do is, a strategy that you could use is, if you're trying to identify a place where he could be, try and teleport somewhere that's kind of way out of the way. So say for example that was showing me to go southwest. Say go to Lumbridge, which is like way south. So then from that point you can kind of pinpoint where he might be. I assume he's probably either in Catherby or the White Wolf Mountain, so I'm going to check those places, but I won't do it on screen because obviously you don't want to see that. So yeah, check those places. If you can't find him, keep using your amulet, try the teleporting tactic, it's a good idea. So yeah, I will be back to recording once I have found Bob, so I'll see you in a sec. Alright, so we're in Catherby right now, one of the places I was expecting him to be, and here he is, Bob the cat. He's black, so he might blend into some places. So make sure you have your cat amulet wielded when you speak to him, or else it'll be like talking to a ghost without your ghost speak amulet on. And your 2 cats will basically have a talk, and he will tell you, or also tell your cat, that he has fallen in love with a cat called Nate, or Knight, or I don't know. But he's trying to get Nate or whatever, I'm going to just call her Nate, to fall in love with him as well. And we call Gertrude the crazy cat lady. Okay. So we're having a lot of conversation here. But anyway, after this point, you will want to go and find out. You want to go talk to Gertrude, or the crazy cat lady. So head to Varrock in however which way you want to go. Obviously, having some teleport runes is always useful, particularly to Varrock and Berthorpe. So having a games necklace is a good idea. So head to Gertrude, who is just over here, and oh, there she is. Speak to her. Ask about Bob's parents, and yeah. So I'll try and slow down my clicking a bit. Allergic to cat hair, really? Alright, so she tells you that you need to go speak to Reldo, who is in the Varrock Library. I'm lazy. So head over to the Varrock Library, just by running east. Or teleport if you're lazy like me. And he'll be found in the Varrock Library. You probably know where he is by now, because he is involved in a lot of different quests. So you should be well acquainted with Reldo by now. Right, here he is. Let's ask about Robert the Strong. And he will tell you that the 07 scape. Obviously in EOC we've learnt a lot more about them from quests such as Ritual of the Majorat and While Gothic Sleeps, and maybe later ons as well. I haven't done any of the Majorat quests onwards from Ritual yet, just because I haven't been playing EOC. I've been too busy playing 07. So we're assuming that Bob might be Robert the Strong, like say reincarnated as a cat, for example. So I'm hoping that he is still in Catherby. Let's have a look-see. I don't know how often he teleports, because I think he like teleports or something. I don't think he like wanders all the time. If there's just been a system update, he will always be found in Berthorpe, so that is always a good place to check. So Jimbo's in here. Alright, so Bob's still here, and he will ask you if we found out who your parents are, his parents are. So he'll tell you that he has no memory of Robert the Strong, and we will go back into the story about being hypnotised in Ixthalarian's Little Helper, and at which point you want to be heading to Sophanum to speak to the Sphinx there. Oh, hello. I'm not going to bother doing that. I don't need to. I've got a door ring on. So you're going to... I don't even know why I went into my bank. Anyway, so you're going to want to head to Sophanum any which way you want to. I won't do it on screen, but obviously you can use the Ferroceptor as well as the Cramulet, I think it's called. Or I think it's just the Camulet actually, which you get from Inacra's Lament, which I think is released. Let me check. Yeah, it is. So yeah, you can always use that and head to the pyramid that way. Pyramid, yeah, Sophanum. So get there however which way you want to, and I will see you at the Sphinx. Alright, so here we are back at the Sphinx in Sophanum. We want to ask the Sphinx for help, and he will notice our close connection with our cat. And so yeah, Bob has fallen in love? Alright, so they basically have a long talk about Robert the Strong. So we've got a very long cutscene here, which I will go into just because it is part of the quest. So we may as well. But if you do wish to skip the cutscene, then you're free to. There is an option to skip it. But the Sphinx will teleport Bob here. That's really creepy. That look is really creepy. So there's a dragonkin. Jesus, he wasn't lying about that cat's size. Freaking huge. It's more like a lion. Or a tiger, I should say. Like no emotion for his cat dying. It's really weird how these cats have eyebrows. So the Sphinx will summon Nate. So, it looks like Nate has now fallen in love with Bob. Going away for a few days, I wonder what that means. So, we've been given a list of chores to do. And the Sphinx will offer you a teleport to Unferth's house, which is awesome. So at this point, you're going to want to tidy his house, warm the human, feed the human, tidy the human, and tend to the garden. The first thing you should do is tend to the garden. I still haven't gotten that bucket of milk, but I think I'll do that off screen. So the first thing we're going to want to do is tend to the garden, because this will take the full 35 minutes to grow the potatoes. If I remember correctly, I don't think these things can die. Me saying that will now mean that they will die, but let's hope they won't. I can't remember. I think that they don't die, but we'll have to see. My farming's not this low, come on. Right, there we go. Alright, so plant them. Yeah, weeds. I was about to drop the monkfish. Didn't mean to do that. Right, what else do we have to do? We have to tidy the human. I think we have to use the shears on him, which cuts his hair basically, because apparently scissors don't exist. Well, we really are cutting it short, aren't we? We've just shaved him. He's now bald. Alright, so we want to feed him. I don't remember exactly what we have to do for that. But for warming the human, you're going to want to place some logs in the fireplace and then light them using your tinderbox. Now, if I remember correctly, I think you have to place the cake on the plate, which will count as feeding. But you also have to do the bucket of milk, which I will do off screen. But all you have to do is get the bucket of milk and place it on the table. I should have prepared for that, really. And then we have to tidy his house, so we have to make his bed. Is that it? Alright, so I will go off screen for this, but you must also put the bucket of milk on the table, which will fill up his glass. As well as that, you must also wait for these potatoes to grow, and once they have grown, have a speak to Unferth. But when everything's grown, I'll be back to recording, so I'll see you again in a bit. Alright, so 35 minutes has passed, and the potatoes have now grown. Let's just put this milk on the table and fill his glass, and that's all of them finished. So, we'll speak to Unferth now. And he will complain of being quite sick, although I'm not wearing my cat speak amulet. Looks like he's sick. He needs a doctor. I don't think that the doctor's gown from Biohazard actually works as a doctor's item. But you'll want to be heading to the apothecary in, or I don't know how to pronounce that properly, in Varrock anyway, just southwest of the teleport spot, and ask him about how, well, tell him that Unferth is ill, and he will basically say that he is a hypochondriac, and you can use placebos to make him better. You can choose either to have the doctor's hat or the nurse's hat. Frankly, the nurse's hat looks much better, so I'm going to go with that. And he will tell you that you can go over and cure him with a vial of water. You will also want to be wearing the nurse's hat as well as the white robes, as like that. And then yeah, oh, looks like they've changed the nurse's hat. The nurse's hat, in main game, like when I got the nurse's hat the first time, it used to look like a bit, it used to look like a tiara, like a kind of a thick tiara, with like the red/green symbol on it. It looks like a nurse's hat now. All right, so let's speak to Unferth. Nurse will bomb us know. All right, so let's put the cat speak amulet on, but he basically tells you his everything is hurting. So we tell him that the vial of water is a miracle cure. He'll drink it, and he'll feel much better. Sorry, I've been scrolling through this about as quickly as possible. Oh, my cat's hungry. Just a minute. Right, so I think we have to speak to him again. I don't know. Let's double check. Alright, so we need to go find Bob. Couldn't remember which part we were at, but yeah. It looks like he's north right now. Not too sure where that could be, to be quite honest, but let's have a look anyway. Maybe he is in Burthorpe, although it doesn't look like it. Alright, so I'm going to go have a look for him, wherever he might be, and I'll begin recording again once I find him, so I'll be back in a sec. Alright, so he wasn't actually in he wasn't actually north, I just can't read. He's in Catherby still, so let's speak to Bob, who's with Nate now. And yeah, got my cat speak on, and he will tell you about his travels with Nate, so you'll get a little cutscene. This doesn't look like a good idea. Buy ranger set. Seems like they're arguing like a normal married couple. Right, so you'll have magically turned up in Berthorpe. Don't know how that happened, but anyway, so let's speak to Unferth over here. Get back here. And he will tell you that Bob has come home, although he's gone again. But yeah, so after that you will have completed A Tale of Two Cats. You are awarded 2 quest points and a mysterious present. So what is inside this present, you ask? Well, there is a mouse toy which you can use. It's like basically the same as a mouse which you can use with your cat. Looks like a bit of a. It looks like a kind of a stiff whip kind of thing. It's like stuck in one place. And you also get 2 lamps which are worth 2,500 XP, which I'm going to be using on agility. Just because why not? Woohoo, 46 agility. Yeah, that's pretty much all for this video today. So until the next time, I'll see you then, guys.